It's all about and the other thing is giving air. It's like sometimes that piece of air between those two words makes those words really powerful. There's nothing worse than someone with copy that's just overwritten, and then they wonder why it doesn't have the emotion they were hoping for. Where in actual fact, it's the old less is more theory. You can make some amazing statements using very little words, but a ton of emotion will come out of it.
Like you just did.
Yes, probably.
Okay. So what is the one thing that most people don't know about voiceovers and voiceover actors?
Well, it's funny, even people who do it, everyone's got their own skill base. And the smart ones are the ones who have a knowledge of just about all of it. I always work on the 80-20 rule of, 20% talent and 80%, BS, basically, which, it takes into consideration everything from selling and marketing and all that kind of stuff. I think I don't know whether a lot of people, especially in this country, understand the relevance of home studios. That hasn't really taken off the way it has in the US, which I find interesting, and I don't know quite why. There is a fear, and there is and I think sometimes Australia, for some reason, is a fearful country. People don't particularly like change, and that doesn't help.
The fear of what? Is it the perception that maybe because you're doing it at home in your own studio that it's not professional?
I think it's probably more, we're doing it from here, therefore you're taking work away from me, which I kind of understand, because in the old days you'd have to go into a studio. So if someone wanted to do an ISDN from Sydney to Melbourne, the client was in Sydney and the studio was in Melbourne, I would go to the studio in Melbourne, who would then do an ISDN link to a studio in Sydney, so the client could be on the session,
Yeah.
So there's two studios getting money out of this. Now, of course, if you've got a studio like this, then I just beam into wherever. And in some cases, like a lot of my clients, I don't even talk to them. In fact, some I've never even talked to. I just get copy and, everyone's happy with the way I'm doing it, and that's it. It just comes in.
Are you still getting work through an agent?
Yeah, I've got an agent in Sydney